we're at the airport, and I thought, what a better use of my time than to get on a live stream. I know I already did a live stream today, but this is basically the next day now because I'm 2 hours ahead of the UK. So anyway, I just wanted to drop a shit ton of fucking value whilst I'm at the airport. As you can see, absolutely flooded with opportunity. But yeah, I wanted to dedicate this live stream to giving you a no bullshit blueprint into how you can actually integrate the skill set of cold approach into your lifestyle. Right? I think this is the holy grail. I think for me anyway, this is why I wanted to get started with cold approach. I wanted to integrate it into my busy lifestyle and make approaching girls as effortless and as natural as drinking water. So I'm going to detail the blueprint in no bullshit detail, and then you will know how to actually integrate this skill into your lifestyle. So the formula is super simple. Immersion plus intent equals integration. All right, immersion plus intent equals integration. So this is how we actually integrate it into our lives. It's immersion plus intent. All right, so let me just break that down into super practical terms. I'm gonna sit on the floor because that's the audacious fucker I am. All right, so first of all, immersion. All right, so this is where the groundwork is gonna be set. So what I recommend for everybody is having a 90-day immersion period, right? So for these 90 days, it doesn't matter if you're a beginner or you've been out the game for a little while, you've gotten a little bit rusty. Set the intention of having a 90-day obsession period where for a full 90 days, you give yourself permission to go hard with this skill set. Yeah, so watch the videos, listen to the podcast, read the blogs. What I recommend is aiming to do 30 approaches a week for a full 90 days. All right, this is going to lay the foundations and provide the solid bedrock where your skill set is going to be formed. All right, so I typically say that it takes 100 approaches, right? Your first 100 approaches, yeah, these are batting practice. If you've not done 100 approaches yet, you can't complain, right? You've not even started. You're not even in the game yet. So 100 approaches purely to start to discover your approach to this game. Yeah, like we all play the game at a different way. We're all operating on our own timeline, but I'm a practical man. I like to give practical advice to other practical guys. So if you set yourself as a tangible goal, 90 days, aiming to do 30 approaches every single week. And this is like, you know, hardcore robot mode. Like you might have weeks where you get like, I don't know, 20 or 19, but you know, you still got 20, you still got 19. Like this is like the upper echelon to aim for. But if you set the intention to do 30 approaches every single week for the next 90 days, if you actually stick to this, because most guys are not going to stick with it, right? Most guys are going to, you know, just fumble the way through it. Maybe they'll stay consistent for a couple of weeks. Then life gets in the way. Then they fall off the horse. Then they complain it doesn't work. But yeah, if you can stay consistent, like consistency is key. Consistency is key with anything, but especially with cold approach, 30 approaches a week and recording the audio of your conversations for me is crucial because you need a point of reference, right? There's no good in continuing to do the same thing wrong. Yeah, so you need a point of reference. You need to be getting feedback. You need to know what your particular sticking points are. Like, what are your blind spots? Maybe you're speaking too fast. Maybe you're not building enough investment in the conversation. Maybe you're not creating enough mystery, enough intrigue. Maybe you're too interview mode. Maybe the vibe that you're giving off is too platonic. Maybe you're not grounded enough in your conversation. Maybe you're not allowing the silence to do the work because you're nervous and you're erratic. So for you, when you can actually listen to yourself back, you can learn to slow down. Maybe your open is too generic. I was just speaking about my guys in the Entourage about this. Like, it's easy when you get involved with cold approach to be running the same opens as like every other guy. Like, hi, excuse me, I know this is random, but I just wanted it. Like, it sounds a little bit too robotic and systematic and formulaic. It's fun in the early days, but I do think we want to be discovering our own approach to this. And you're only going to discover your own approach through the reps, yeah, through batting practice. So that's the framework, right? That's going, like, this is the immersion, right? Without the immersion, you've got no chance. And you might get to the end of the 90 days and think, I'm going to do another 90 days. Like, you really want to get to a point where you feel comfortable going over to any girl at any time, feeling as though you can carry a conversation, right? So that's the immersion period. 90 days, a 90-day obsessive, yeah? You're just going hard with this, like you would with any other skill set, like a 90-day obsession for learning Spanish, a 90-day body transformation, a 90-day teach yourself how to swim, get to Michael Phelps level. Like, you're going to have that obsession period, right? I don't see the point in starting anything unless you're prepared to go all in and just commit yourself. Like, it's only 90 days, right? 90 days to build a skill set. Yes, you can do it a lot faster than that. But I think 90 days, if you've got, because for me, I had a magic background, like I was performing magic for a decade, so I was able to get good a lot quicker. But let's just say you're starting at fucking ground zero, you got, like, don't have the social background that I had, 90 days, that's solid. So that's the immersion period, okay? Let's say you've got to the end of the 90 days, you've done what? 360 approaches by this point. Now you've got a good idea how the game is actually played, all right? Now comes the next phase, which is the intent phase, right? So everyone always wants to do the intent phase before they've done the immersion, right? Like, guys get into this and like, yeah, you know, when I see that girl and I'm gonna go and buy that pint of milk, I'll approach her. But you're not going to approach because you've not got the reps in. And this is why you need to do the immersion period first, because this is where you get your skin in the game. Yeah, you've learned how to swing. Maybe you strike out every time, or maybe you get lucky and hit a few home runs. It doesn't really matter. What matters is you're building the skill set, you're developing the emotional resilience, you're learning how to deal with rejection, objection handling. You're just learning about the man you are, yeah, like in the immersion period. The intent period, right, to actually integrate this skill set into your busy lifestyle, once you've done your immersion, all it comes down to, it's actually super simple, but I've not heard anyone else talk about this. If you actually want to integrate this skill set, so when you are going to go buy a pair of jeans or a pint of milk, or you're going to go meet your friend Harry for a game of billiards, before you leave the house, you have to set the intention, all right? And in a really practical manner, it looks like this. Before you leave the house, after you've done your immersion period, you just say to yourself the following: when I leave the house today, if I see somebody who I find interesting, then I will go over and start a conversation, right? That's the intent period, but this can only come about through immersion, because the immersion teaches you how to approach. Does that make sense? So once you've done your immersion, now comes the intent, right? And this is what leads to the integration. I hope you're following along, because this, like, this is the fucking sauce right here. Like, this is like the nitty gritty of how to actually integrate cold approach into your busy lifestyle. You've done your immersion, and then before you leave the house, you set that intent, because it's too easy. Let's say you've just rolled out of bed in the morning, it's time for you to go to work, and then you see that absolute worldie struck past you. You've not yet primed your mind for the day, right? Just because you're able to approach effortlessly yesterday doesn't mean you'll be the same today, yeah? So we need to prime our mind for the approach. It literally just takes, for me anyway, this is just what's worked for me, it's what works for my clients, hopefully it works for you. Just setting that intention before we leave the house, or before you leave the office, or before you leave the gym. Like, just say to yourself, listen, if I see somebody who I find interesting, I'll go over and start a conversation. Does that make sense? Because, oh, that was so nice. Much needed. If you don't set the intention, then you are at the whims of your emotions. Yeah, like this is, I call it day gaming deliberately. Yeah, because if you set that intention, when you see someone who you find interesting, you'll go over and start a conversation. It's like now you're prepared for battle. Like, I don't want to use that. It's not like some like art of war shit, but you get what I'm saying, right? You're ready, right? You're in the game now. Like your mindset is in the game, because I get it. Like my typical client is the high achieving, busy city worker. He's got a super busy lifestyle. He's got a lot of shit going on. And when he leaves the office or he leaves his house and he's going to go out and meet people, the problem he faces is he's not primed his mind ready for the opportunity. Does that make sense? So this is how we integrate the skill set into our busy lifestyle. First of all, you have your 90-day immersion period where you aim to do 30 approaches every single week, recording as many of your conversations as possible. It might feel like a ball ache at the start. Yeah, it's going to cringe you out listening to yourself back, but suck it up, yeah, because this is how you get results. It's by getting feedback, also having accountability. So if you've got a wing or you've got a close friend who gets it, who's in the game, and you can share your conversations with him and he's okay to, like, not a lot of guys are actually okay to listen to conversations back because it takes a little bit of time. If you don't have anybody, then fine, listen to your own conversations back. But you need that point of reference, because if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. And if what you're getting at the moment is shit, then you need to know why it's shit. You need to know why these girls are flaking. You need to know why your conversations suck balls. You need to know why you don't feel good in the conversations. Evidence has got the loudest voice, so you need that point of reference. And then once you've gone through this immersion period, it simply comes down to you setting that intention. And look, you don't need to set the intention every single day, right? You're not going to be in the mood. Like you're just not. It's unrealistic of me to say that you need to be going out every single day, no excuses, don't be a pussy. Like I don't like that sort of advice because it's unrealistic, and the people who give this advice don't follow it themselves, right? Like you'll get like just these gurus online who are like, you must approach every single girl, no excuses, but they're pussying out of like 90% of them. So I'm not going to be one of those guys who just chats absolute garbage. But I've always been an advocate of you should cold approach, especially when you're in the mood to do it. Yeah, because some days you're just feeling yourself. Some days you just feel on top of the world. And these are the days where you want to set that intent into the ether. Yeah, like when I see that person who I find interesting, I'm going to go over. I'm going to deliver my feel-good state onto them. And then a rising tide lifts all the boats. But this is how we integrate this super niche skill set into our busy lifestyle. It's immersion plus intent, which equals integration. I really hope that makes sense, because I think this is why the majority of us get into this, because we just want to be able to approach any girl anytime. But very few people, I've actually never heard anybody break down the process of how to actually integrate it. So I hope that's useful. Mr. Ian's on the live stream. I think I'm due a second immersion. Aren't we all, bro? Aren't we all? I think I'm due like my 95th immersion now. Adonis Academy. Why is Adonis Academy on the line? Adonis. That's funny. I'm just thinking about Jeffrey now. Jeffrey doesn't do immersions because Jeffrey's a pussy. Adonis. Anyway, Hamza's on the live stream. I appreciate you, bro. Hope the red pill's treating you well. Mundane question: will you add these to your Spotify? Yeah, they are getting added to this. They are getting added to the Spotify. That's not a mundane question. That's a true Casanovian question. Yeah, all of the live streams are being added onto my podcast. So you'll be able to watch them like wherever you get your not watch them. Actually, no, you can watch them because I'm making video podcasts. But you'll be able to listen to them wherever you get your podcasts. The live streams are being uploaded onto the podcasting platform. So yes, a mundane answer to a mundane question. But yeah, perfect. That's all I wanted to say, really, boys. I just wanted to hit you with this value bomb. You have a cool voice. Thanks, bro. I've been practicing. You can actually learn how I develop my voice in my free course. Just go onto the homepage of my YouTube channel. You can download Conversation Killer. It's basically my entire cold approach, like blueprint. It's completely free. It's like over 4 hours of instructional video material. Basically just teach you how even the most introverted of guys can get started and get results from cold approach. There is a voice element in there, so if you're interested in hashtag voice maxing, then do that. That cleaner keeps looking around. She's like, what the fuck's this guy talking to, man? Talking to the Casanovians, man. Come on, subscribe. You're welcome, bro. You're welcome. Really enjoyed this. Thank you as always. You are more than welcome, brother. You're more than welcome. But yeah, just a little plan for the future. So I'm in the airport right now. I'm going to catch a flight to London in about 3 hours, and then I'll be in London for February. Got a big project planned for London. I'm going to be doing a lot of filming. Really excited to just get back into the filming swing of things. Like, there's no better feeling, bro. Like, I'm literally living my dream job where I get to link up with Dan in London, create killer content, put it out to you boys for free, and then, yeah, just hope you get a shit ton of fucking value from it, and then you transmute information into implementation, and you go out and live a life beyond the beige, because I think that's what it's about. It's deeper than day game, right? It's excelling, evolving, and becoming our best selves through the fires of adversity. So that's all nice. But yeah, gonna be doing a lot of filming, gonna be doing coaching, and then I will be fucking off to Bangkok for March, and then Buenos Aires in April. If any of those locations appeal to you and you would like to work with me personally, get access to my network, and also get access to my lifestyle as well, so come and travel the world with me, conquer, not like conquer, not conquer the world so much, but conquer ourselves. I think that's a better way of saying it, because like, yeah, conquering the world sounds cool, but really I think it's the process of conquering ourselves. Just overcoming those self-limiting beliefs by doing difficult shit. So anyway, I'm just ranting because I've got time to kill. But no, I hope you boys have enjoyed this live stream. Give it a like if you've appreciated it. What are people saying? Subbed. I'm ready to pay $5 for your course. Lol. Would you recommend always warming up with simple questions or going straight into approaches if you feel you can? What do you mean, warming up with simple questions? Like what? How are you? I mean, yeah, I mean, if I were you, bro, I would just be going straight in there, direct as fuck, and what I call Armageddon approaching. Imagine the world was going to end for some unknown reason. You wouldn't be pissing about with some mundane questions like, how's your cat doing? What's the weather saying? You'd be going over, you know what I mean? Like, you there, beautiful damsel, you look amazing. What we doing? Let's go out for Mai Tai. So yeah, play to win rather than play not to lose. That would be my mindset. Obviously, it's not always possible if your social state is not there, but you know, just push yourself a bit. You know, just force yourself to do what you wouldn't usually do to get results you wouldn't usually get. So yeah, just practice going direct. I think it's good, especially if you're a beginner, just getting over the hardest hurdle first, which is for most guys, it's just going straight in direct. So yeah, just rep that out a lot of times. Just view the rep itself as the reward, and just view your first 100 direct cold approaches as batting practice. That's the best advice that I can give to you. That's the advice that I followed, and it made me pretty good, pretty fast. Adonis Academy, please, can you wish my bestie a happy birthday? Happy birthday, bestie. Hope you have a fucking great one. He never rests. Let he who would move the world first move himself. That's great. Armageddon approaching. Awesome mindset. You're welcome. I keep burping, man. It's crazy. Mad. But yeah, hope you both have enjoyed this one. Yeah, integrating cold approach into your busy lifestyle. Immersion plus intent equals integration. Go out, use it. Live a life beyond the beige. Live a life free from bullshit. Embrace your own mortality. We get one shot at this life. Eternity's a long time. We're too long dead. Death comes to us all. Anyway, one last picturesque panoramic of Paphos Airport. Oh, there's the bag. A lot of potential for approaches. I hope that cleaner comes back. I feel like she's gonna boomerang. She saw the phone, man. She saw the iPhone. She's like, yeah, give me some of that. Anyway, love yous. Stay sexy.